Hi guys, my name is Deontay Thomas. I'm co-director of the Black Experience in America. My shooting style in photography, at least, I consider myself like the Mike Tyson of a shooting style, which all that means to me is I get very close to my subjects. So it kind of translates into, of course, video as well. I kind of use a avant-garde approach. I use a stabilizer, which helps me follow and track the motion of my subject, which was Ivory. And I was definitely able to capture his movements to my liking and to his liking as well. We had a lot of cinematic moments and a lot of unexpected moments too, where one moment where we had a drone and an aerial shot, kind of like in the beginning, that shot up into the trees. And basically I thought I lost it, but in that, what happened was a transition was basically when the drone shot up, the drone created like a 180, 360 type of transitional event for us that I actually was able to edit and use as a part of our footage. So there goes a lesson there too, in filming that, a lot of things don't have to be concrete. At least that's my approach in art just in general. I tend to break a lot of the rules. It might be a theory of me not knowing all the rules, but I like to break all the rules first to learn the rules. And that's just kind of how I shoot. And I learned a lot from shooting the Black Experience. And particularly when we were on stage, Will, our choreographer, he had kind of mentioned that it looked like I was dancing too, because I had to, follow Ivory back and forth, whatever he was doing. And of course, like, I had videos and stuff of the dance, but still, it's different once it's showtime. So that was kind of cool to get that comparison, it felt like that. So from what you visualize, it was a dance between me, Ivory, and Will, of course. So hopefully you guys see that and enjoy that, how we put it together. And what I really want you guys to take away from the Black Experience, kind of what it did for me was it was a moment of realizing and reflecting. Of course, when you're editing, in editing, you have to process the footage. So sometimes it's redundant. Sometimes it's you seeing exactly what you guys saw, so that could be a police officer, pulling somebody over and, shooting some of the graphic stuff that we did display, which obviously are stuff that has happened in the past. Some stuff is present too, because these type of actions haven't stopped against us. But I realized a lot about myself and coming into consciousness, and I was able to release a lot as well. And I seen Ivory release a lot. There was moments of I'm not gonna say anger, but you can tell that, Ivory was pent up, and it was, obviously there's a lot of takes that happen in the getting the right moves and the right dance. We got to kind of review the footage to make sure that every step, is right, and, that could take a toll. But I see more of a stress relief come out of that process. When I first had brothers kind of telling me about consciousness, it was overwhelming. It was very overwhelming to hear certain things, 'cause especially me being, half Cuban, half Black, and maybe not seeing the full side of things, being on whatever spectrum I might be on at whatever time in my life. So coming into consciousness can be overwhelming at times, but it's the knowledge that helps heal and helps to move forward, just to potentially help somebody or spread a different narrative, whatever it may be. So I hope in viewing this that you get an experience to feel, to let go, and to potentially maybe tell your story as well, tell your pain, tell, or your happiness or your lightness to things, because that's very important. So that's my message. My art, your eyes. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and on to the next one. Peace.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Gloucester. I am the writer of Whole and one of the directors of the short film Whole. I am an artistic director at Global Girls Inc. It's an organization where I teach theater and dance to young girls, helping them investigate their issues, and then we turn it into performance pieces. I'm currently in grad school at Governor State. I will be making the transition soon to another university to finish getting my master's for film. And I'm just really excited that I could share this moment with you guys. I guess my passion really comes from my childhood. So when I was younger, I used to write all the time. I had like a diary and I had journals like all the time. I would just write and write and write. I would create little stories, make up stories, and I was just very observant as to like what was going on around me. So I watched things really closely and I would just write about it. So if something like happened to me, I would journal or I would like try to create a small story based on it. And then I got into the arts and that really like sparked my interest in like telling stories and doing short films. I remember like when my friends would like go away to school, I would create short videos of them like throughout their time in like high school or like even in grade school, and just like showing their journey up until they like went off to college. And so I just took a lot of joy in like making others happy, like seeing people's reaction when they saw my small video production, and it really gave me a lot of joy. And so from there, when I got to college, I was able to meet colleagues who were interested in the same things, like interested in doing films or like would recreate a music video and things like that. So it really sparked more of my like interest in film, and I just really like love to tell stories and voice like give a voice to topics that are like kind of hard to talk about or topics that kind of go unheard of, like female genital mutilation. And there's a lot of other things that Black women go through that I take joy in like investigating those issues and like turning them into something. So yeah. You know, I do think that there are African American women telling stories of African women, but in different ways. So I know a lady who lives here in Chicago. She creates art, like artwork, and it stems from the countries in Africa. Like she'll tell like little stories through art, through her paintings. Some of the women that I'm around, they may not have they have a passion for like telling those stories, but I just don't think that they know exactly like how they want to tell those stories. So I think that it can kind of go both ways. There are women who are like, there are African American women like myself who are trying to tell these stories of African women, but they might not have like the resources to like to tell those stories. So I think that we do need more resources and more opportunities to travel overseas and get the true authentic stories of these women who live in these countries, who are going through some of the same things that we might go through, because female genital mutilation happens here in America as well. It doesn't just happen in countries in Africa. It happens all over the world. But people are not they don't know about it because it's not really talked about. And so I think that's the thing, like having more conversations or more spaces where people can talk about these things, because there are African American women who are interested in learning about like their roots or like just learning about the culture of Africa. I just think that if we were providing more spaces to do that, then a lot more conversations would be had.